just as a quick conversation starter.
Yeah.
I had seen, I forgot where I seen the shit. The guy was saying that prison will never fix how people are, right? That you have to take the step forward and fix the children before they become adults who go to prison. And then he said that in other countries, there's a threshold for when a boy becomes a man, when he knows he can no longer do childish things. And in America, we don't have that. There's no passing the torch to the next generation. You just all of a sudden an adult and you figure that shit out.
Like a quinceañera or some shit like that?
I mean, even a quinceañera is for women. Now you are a woman. You know what I'm saying?
Like,
something like, I mean, like, what's the Jewish people do?
When they had a
bar mitzvahs.
Yeah. Bar mitzvah.
You are now a man. We don't have a passing of the torch. And it made me come up with this question. What does being a man entail? At what point do you know you are a man?
You know what's crazy? I was just I watched this video where long story short, the Jewish community, they start teaching their boys stuff that's gonna gear them towards a productive future at the age of 3.
I mean, as you should. If you are in your child's life, you are raising an adult from day one, right? That's the end goal for your kid to be responsible, contributing adult to society.
Right. Okay. Just real quick. Speaking of, I just Googled age for bar mitzvah. It's 13.
Right.
And the quinceañera is what, 15, 16?
Yeah, 15.
Okay. So there's just random fact.
Right. So at 13, again, that to me, that's a passing of the torch.
Yeah.
The kid turned 13. He has a bar mitzvah. Now you have to quit doing childish shit. You are now being held accountable for your actions, even though 13 is a little young.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it is what it is. It's the whole symbolism of it, right? Now your actions hold some type of weight, and for black people, we don't have that. We got grown ass men still acting like children because no one taught them how to be men, and I think that's a crucial piece that we're missing. I grew up in a single parent house. So it was just my mom, right? She did her absolute best, but let's keep it a buck. A woman cannot raise a man.
Right.
A woman cannot. As men, we can't raise a woman. It's just what it is. We have no lived experience in that particular threshold to tell you how to do it. So, I mean, with that being said, again, at what point did you see yourself and be like, I am the man. I am a man.
Man, once I think it was around the age of when I moved out at 27.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's when I moved out.
Put my close to you.
Yeah, when I moved out around 27.
Responsibilities.
Yeah, exactly. Like when I was living with my parents, I didn't have any real bills. Right.
Yeah,
like,
I was just like you. I was fortunate enough. I didn't pay shit.
Right. And that whole time, I like the only responsibility in the house I had was maybe like contributing tissue, some small stuff like that. Yeah. But in terms of a light bill, even it's like $100. It was a house of like 6 people at least, so like $100-something or something like that. Yeah. But no, I didn't have any of that, and I realized how real it was once I moved out on my own. Yeah. I was like, okay, yeah, I think I've crossed the line into manhood now, taking care of that stuff, taking care of my own responsibilities, going to work, waking myself up, stuff like that. So, but while you were asking the question, I was definitely thinking like, bro, they have bar mitzvahs, they have quinceañeras. While you were asking the question, I'm like, yo, black people do not have an equivalent to that.
No, we don't. We have nothing. But then, people always point like to the motherland, and over in the motherland they got stuff. They got passing of the torch stuff, where they become a man. And some like tribal areas, you're not a man until you get circumcised. They circumcise you for manhood. So like 15, 16,
really,
you go through a circumcision, and now you are a man.
That seems counterproductive, though.
Hey, by all means.
Yeah. In some cultures, they cut the clit off.
But that doesn't symbolize womanhood.
Yeah, it do. That's
does
what
it?
To them, it does.
Yep.
That's weird.
It's weird to us because it ain't our culture.
I mean, yeah, because getting circumcision with no medication at 15, 16.
Right. Like,
And even
As
that,
old as 18.
period.
I came to the conclusion that circumcision is weird.
It is.
No reason for no.
Once we start using soap and
medical-
water, we didn't need it no more.
Yeah,
But
no
let's
medical-
let's focus.
Okay.
Focus on the question at hand. Focus on problem.
Okay.
She must have found another quarter. Inside joke. If you want to know, comment. Maybe I'll tell you, depending on who you are. But no, yeah. What's the threshold for manhood in the black community?
But I mean, to a point you said earlier, I think it's just it's up to the discretion of the parent. Really, I think it's definitely better to start teaching sooner than later. But I don't think there's a well. I can say I think like the quinceañera age is good. Between bar mitzvah and quinceañera, like 13, 16, between that is when you're like, okay, now it's getting to the point where, like, because at the age of 16, 2 more years, ideally, you're gonna go off to college, right? So at that point, you're gonna be your own boss. You have to, you're gonna be taking care of yourself for the most part. Like, you're not gonna have me here to be able to drive you to and from school or whatever it is that you may have going on, depending on where you go.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, I think, teaching responsibility sooner than later is better than anything. I think 13 is a good threshold
To start teaching responsibilities. I hate to use societal things as a standard, but the moment you're 18, you're treated as an adult by the world.
Yeah.
You need to be ready
Right.
to be an adult by 18. Curtis, what you think? What's the threshold of being a man?
I think once you get to that age where your parents are no longer responsible to wake your ass up when if you got something to do in the morning, you got to get up and do that shit. Whatever age that is, and maybe that is college age. You out of high school at that point, or you're a senior year in high school.
Yeah.
Your parents ain't waking you up no more. You're a senior. You about to go out into the world.
I don't know. Some parents are real overbearing.
Yeah, I think that
I knew some seniors whose parents were still making them fucking lunches. Dead ass. No, like laid out their clothes.
ironed it for them.
And they were seniors in high school?
Yeah.
Oh.
I know grown ass men now who parents still do that shit.
Facts. Yeah.
And there's nothing wrong with them. They're perfectly capable human beings. Their parents are just really overbearing and really in their lives to the point where they're going to treat them like a child until they can't no longer.
Yeah. And those are the people that I think have the hardest time surviving in life.
100%.
Like, if heavens forbid that whoever it is you're talking about, their parents pass away.
They have not learned nothing.
You know what I mean? So they don't know the first what it means to they have not at that point experienced what it's like to have to wake yourself up,
right?
To see that alarm go off at 7 and be super tempted to hit the snooze button to get another 8 minutes of sleep. Another 8 minutes of sleep.
Is there different levels to manhood, or is it just manhood? That's it.
No, for me, it's a hard line. You're a man or a child, because when I go engage with another person, I engage them as a man, not a lesser man or a higher statute man.
Yeah, you
are a man. You die, you're gonna die a man. Put you on the ground, all the same in the dirt. Because to me, what you're saying, I think of as levels of respect. What level of a manhood do I respect you at? But you're still a man. I'm still gonna treat you as such.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? What you?
Right. No, I was actually thinking. I think I take back my statement. At the age when
you gonna retract the statement,
no,
man?
I retract. Yeah, because I was thinking at the age where you start giving them responsibilities around the house. Again, this is up to the parent, because you can get responsibilities at 8, and that's what I'm saying. Like, start teaching them then. Yeah. But if you have a 13-year-old and that 13-year-old doesn't have chores around the house, then you're not giving them the best foot to put forward. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I think, sooner than later, I would say like 8 latest when you start giving them responsibilities.
So the original question was, at what age do we consider a person a man?
No, it was
the threshold. If you want to say age or actions, whatever.
Maybe it is age that, because at that point, like adulthood, man or woman, whatever, I guess at a certain age you are now considered a man. Whether you are a good or bad man is, I guess how you're responsible. Are you taking care of your responsibilities in your life?
Because I feel like, there's situations where somebody's father might die at 16 and they have to become the man of the house. So now they are a man at 16. That's why I don't want to put a hard age on it, right? Because at 13, you're not no man. We know that. We understand that shit. Where they get them.
Everybody don't.
No, I'm just saying. If in the Jewish community you have your bar mitzvah at 13, it's not cookie cutter. Everybody's not ready.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But that's their threshold for you to start taking responsibility. They have a hard line of you starting for you to be starting to think different, for you to be starting to move different.
Right, yeah.
And I feel like in our community we don't have that. No. It's almost like a switch one day when you become a man.
It was a switch for me.
It's a switch one day. It's go, fuck, I got to do this, I got to do that, I got to do this. I have to. There's no options.
Yeah.
It wasn't work. It wasn't no training.
There wasn't a class. Like
right. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't sitting there learning to do these things. It's a switch.
Yeah. So I just think it's better sooner than later. I think before, me personally, whenever I have kids, I will start teaching them responsibility. Not necessarily responsibilities of an adult, but just responsibilities of being a person before teenage.
100%. You lay down a good foundation in your house to be good.
Like for instance, when my family, we had custody of my younger cousins, I would go and walk to their school and walk them back home. But it got to a point where they would grab a chair, grab a spoon, push the chair up to the counter, grab the peanut butter out of the grab the I would say the butter,
the
grab
jelly.
the bread, grab the jelly, and they made themselves their own food.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I didn't have to tell them that. I mean, I had to train them. I had to tell them to be safe. I had to tell them,
Yeah, you had to show them how to put it together, how to manufacture it.
So
some people take the initiative.
At that age, they were like 4 or 5 years old, maybe 6.
Yeah.
It definitely wasn't 6. It was like 4 or 5 years old. As long as they could reach it and not put themselves in danger of getting hurt or whatever, I don't see the problem. That's you pass on the torch. You go, oh, I see you moving this way. Let me show you how to do it. Right. So
that's not prevalent. We can looking at every hood ever. Like the threshold for people being gangbangers is getting younger and younger. No, no.
That's tough.
You man, whenever I see a little kid calling an OG at 17, you ain't no old nothing.
Oh,
you got.
That's a good point, because somebody who's, well, I guess that's a double-edged sword kind of thing, because somebody who's 17, a lot of people, first of all, these days use like gang-related verbiage because they hear it from other people. Right. So they kind of gang-related by association. But an 18-year-old to somebody who's 35 talking to an 18-year-old, that 35-year-old is that 18-year-old's OG, depending on their relationship. See,
what I'm saying is kids calling other kids OGs. That's what I'm saying. A 13-year-old looking up to the 16, 17-year-old calling him an OG. You ain't no OG.
Right, yeah.
He ain't did shit.
Yeah, I get you. But so what would we define, because I think I need a definition as to what we would expect for crossing that threshold or passing the torch. Like, there has to be a difference in behavior, right?
We don't have one in our community. It's strictly like we don't have nothing. There's no set guidelines on, at least from my lived experience, that people are saying this is what a man should do. I think we're getting a lot of it from social media, and it's terribly wrong. Terribly fucking wrong. That's why we see so many conversations on what this person brings to the table, because a man should pay for everything. That's what we're hearing. A man should pay for everything. That's what make you a man. You're not a man
if you can't pay for
ain't paying for everything. Which is false.
Straight
false. Completely false.
Straight false.
But then you have a younger generation who don't have no one telling them what a real man is, and now that's their guidelines.
At least the baseline definition.
I guess to say what the threshold is, you have to define exactly.
That's what I'm asking. What do you guys consider a man? What do you like? If you're talking to someone, you listen to them talk, or you watch somebody move, what do you consider, I guess, manly things? Not, being strong or whatever. That's not here nor there. Well, what are manly actions, I guess?
I think. Go ahead.
Because
we say responsibilities, take care of responsibilities.
No, because for me, it's one of those things like, regardless of what that man is doing, like you saying he being childish, he being a childish man, he's still a man. You just don't like what he's doing. You don't like the fact that he's not taking care of his responsibilities. But at the end of the day, he came of age and he a man. And that
what's
age,
of age?
and
18?
Yes, we gotta, because regardless of who gave us that standard, it exists.
Yeah, it's societal
It's
standard.
there. So that man is a man at that point.
Oh, I said that though, right?
Right.
See, I think we need to specify, or maybe delineate the difference in age dictating that you're a man and behavior dictating that you're a man.
I'm going behavior.
But what I'm saying is, regardless of behavior, that man is still a man.
Right.
You just don't like what that man is doing. If that man beating his wife, he's still a man that is beating his wife.
You're right.
But does that make him
a bad man, a terrible man? But he's still a man.
Absolutely. But does that make him childish though?
Beating his wife? Yes. He's a childish man.
Throwing a tantrum. Throwing a fucking tantrum, right.
Throwing a tantrum.
He is.
No, and
like a child. Yeah. Gotcha.
And maybe we should and like what the Jewish people do, what the Mexican people do, all that stuff is tradition. They have those traditions because they didn't come. Their experience, their start in this country aren't the same as ours. And I understand we don't have certain
right. They was able to pull their heritage with them.
Right.
Yeah.
So should we start a tradition where we
That's
do
what
a
I'm
coming of
getting
age?
at the end of the conversation, that's what I was getting at. We need to set a threshold.
Have some sort of tradition where we say, "Fam,
This is your test, quote unquote. It ain't necessarily got to be nothing, a serious test. But when you can do these actions, I will address you as a man. Until then, I'll see you as a child.
Would that ever backfire? Like, can it be?
Yeah, I mean, nothing is cookie cutter. Nothing is absolute. You can never speak in absolutes.
Never.
Because with the ADHD index being so
broad, like
it's so broad.
Yeah.
We understand the brain more, and everybody is not on the same mental wavelength, mental capacity to do X amount of things. Yes, some people will fall in between the crack. I'm sorry. That's just the way it's set up. The crack is not there for no reason.
Yeah.
It's there as a hard line to sift out the bullshit. It is what it is.
Yeah. And you, like you were getting at, like, people develop different capabilities at different ages. Right. So there may be somebody who is 10 years old that has the capability or the mental capacity of somebody who's 15.
100%.
And vice versa. You know what I'm saying? Like a 15-year-old may be more mentally and physically and responsibly capable than somebody who's 21, 25. You know, so I think I do agree that there has to be a baseline.
Right.
There has to be a baseline. And it like you said, nothing's cookie cutter, but can we get a solid 20%? Because, according to the census, black people make up 13%. Not everybody takes the census. I think it's closer to 15, 16.
Right. You always want to add 2 to 3% to that. Right. But not with third most people in the country.
Wait, say that again?
With the third most.
Yeah.
You got Caucasian, then Hispanics, then blacks.
Right. So can we get like 20%? 20% to follow a general consensus.
Right.
You know what I mean? It don't even have to be 50%. Not even 51. Right. Can we get 20%?
What do you think, Curtis? Because like you said, it could be a child prodigy. He's smart as a whip.
Yeah.
He's 6 years old taking college exams. That does not make him a man, right? You know what I'm saying?
No, that just makes him smart.
You see what I'm saying? But it could be an 8-year-old who could bench 60 pounds.
Right.
That's a lot, but that does not make him a man.
It makes him physically capable.
You see what I'm saying? But those attributes,
I guess what makes a person a man is what they contribute to society, I guess.
1000%.
I want to fuck society to your community.
So just
there isn't one though.
I mean, so when I say that, I'm saying like, because like I said, a lot of stuff depending on what we can do for the what I think Chris Rock said it like a man's worth is depending on what he can provide, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, when he was talking about the whole Father's Day and Mother's Day thing.
Yeah, but yeah. I mean, I feel like in a way
like
that fits into the conversation of what makes a man. Yeah. Is this man? And I hate to say this, but is this man paying his taxes? Is he going to work every day? Is he taking care of? If he has a family, is he take care of them? I guess those things would be part of,
right.
That's what makes a man of all men, I guess.
See, I want to peel it back just a little bit because I think a man being in tune with his emotions is also a man.
1000%.
Because as we know, coming from where we come from, the emotions from a man is shunned upon.
1000%.
You are taught to not show that shit. Mm-hmm. Boys don't cry. You can't fucking cry. You can't be fucking soft. Mm-hmm. And now you create emotionless as men who then go out and commit these violent crimes because they had all this shit bottled
emotionally suppressed all their lives. Yeah.
And anything is ready to set them off because they just keep putting it all down. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I would want to add that to manhood. Being a man is someone who's able to express their emotions.
Yeah.
If you sad, be fucking sad, but let me know you sad.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You happy, you can be happy, but let me know you happy.
Yeah.
Being able to express the range of feelings as humans that we're going to feel.
Yeah.
Makes you a man.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, bro, you can be a fucking crybaby.
That's where the line. Well, to what Curtis was saying first, that generally speaking is how a man is measured, what he can contribute to society in general. Yeah. But like you said earlier, like your direct circle, right. So I think that can be practiced at an early age.
It has to be taught.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
That's what I'm saying.
That's like number one. It has to be taught because if it's not taught, you don't know what you don't know.
It ain't always got to be your kids, whoever you come in contact with. Because at my job, there's a lot of young kids. I work at a retailer. We get a lot of kids pushing carts, and I see them walking around, trying to holler at the girls at work, and they trying to do that. And I try to put them on game. Yeah. I feel like that's at least what I can contribute, right? I'm like, hey, relax. You on her fucking bumper. You ain't giving her no space to breathe. She can't even see what the fuck you did for her.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? She can't even see you just spent all the time. Back. Let her miss you for a second, homie. You'll get it.
Facts.
Let her miss you for a second.
Facts.
And again, that's how I feel. I contribute. You know what I'm saying? I just taught him something because he might not have another man to tell him that's how you do it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Or I see some dude working harder and not smarter. I'm like, hey, instead of carrying that towel one by one, how about you take the first trip and go get a cart and come back and you move it all at one time.
Right. Yeah.
And they go, oh, never thought about that way.
Yeah.
All right. So there's probably no one teaching this man critical thinking. So what can I do is my little contribution to the community. I don't have any kids. I don't have a family. Not taking care of a household.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But I can help contribute to the community.
I think the generally speaking, in reference to a man, I think the true value of a man or how valuable a man is his capability to pass down knowledge.
Oh, okay. What you think, Kurt?
I think that's the value of a man, and that's like a virtue in life, the passing of knowledge.
What I was doing is saying, what was the question?
No, it's still pretty much within the same question.
I mean,
a value of the man is the ability to pass down knowledge.
It's forever gonna be a multitude of things that can.
As it should, though. That's what I'm saying.
So I can't pinpoint one specific thing that matters most. All I can say is just, a person who I mean, honestly, as a man myself, I have never thought about what makes a man a man.
You don't think about it.
I'm just saying it's just never been, because I am a man, so I never had to think about it. So it didn't really matter to even pose the question.
Right.
What makes a man? I'm like, shit. what do you think defines a man? Whatever you're doing in your life that you feel that not even that you feel. Whatever you're doing in your life, and you think that it's helping progress yourself and the people around you. That another thing that could be a man. It's just so many ways you can go with this. So I feel like just as long as you ain't doing no foul shit,
hurt yourself or anybody else.
Right.
So just make a list of 3 things. There's 3 of us here, right? Like the one thing, because like you said, like Curtis said, it's a multitude of things that a man can do to show that he's a man. So my thing is the passing down of knowledge. What, like, do you have one that you can add? I know it's like spur of the moment.
The ability to express your emotion.
I thought you was gonna say that.
Yeah, no, that's.
I figure somebody who, cause like sometimes I used to when I was young, I used to get up in the morning and feel like the world beat me down. Now at 30, I'm not gonna let the world do that to me.
Right.
I get up. I know I gotta be at work at 7. I know I gotta be up at 5. I get up and I handle the world. I don't let the world handle me.
Ooh. That's 3 right there. I think those are 3 strong things.
Handle the world
that you could use to measure yourself as a man.
Yeah,
to measure the others around you as a man.
Those not the only 3, by the way.
100%.
Just for clarification purposes, they're not the only 3, but those are.
How about this? In the comments down below, I want y'all to add, what do y'all think could be added to this list as a measure of a man? While we are talking about what's at the top, let's talk about what would be at the bottom. What in societal norms is considered manly that should not be? I want to say, I'll start off with saying that sleeping with a multitude of women does not make you more of a man.
Man.
Quite honestly,
it's the opposite.
The ability to say no to pussy makes you more of a man than always getting into some pussy.
I can 10,000% agree with that, because it takes that shows a level of mental fortitude.
Yes,
that shows a lot of self-control. Right.
I ain't gonna stunt, dude. One of my most manliest fucking moments, I turned down some pussy.
Yeah,
I did. I was a knucklehead. I was out here cheating and shit. You know what I'm saying? Trying to get straight, and there was an offer. It's there. Coulda. And I was like, I thought better, right? I was like, you know what? Fuck it. No, I'm trying to do better. No, I'm good. She called me all types of pussies and shit. Well,
doing what women do.
I drove home with the biggest smile on my face. You know what I'm saying? With the biggest smile on. I just did that shit, right? I just did what I didn't think I had the capability of doing. You know what I'm saying? And I did that shit. Yeah. I felt most like a man right there.
Yeah.
I want to come home, tell my lady, but I couldn't even tell her I was in a situation. So like,
I can't even celebrate, man.
All right. Where was you at? That someone was out for you.
That's what you're supposed to do.
Yeah. So on the question of what makes a man a man, so this one guy, his name Joe Townsend, business owner. I don't know what business he got, but that's just what he said.
I mean, he like get an LLC, but
right. I was gonna say, like probably got it 10 years ago. Ain't did nothing.
He had 5 things that makes a man a man.
Okay.
The first one is a man is a servant.
A servant?
Yeah. He isn't the center of his own world, but a servant to his purpose and those that reside there.
I don't like that already. I don't. I think us as people, we are, especially men, we are trained to be very selfless, and at some points in our lives, we need to be more selfish. We're so used to giving out, we don't know how to take. But sometimes you give out too much of yourself.
You said we're so used to giving out that we don't know how to take, but would you say we don't know how to give? Oh, we know how to give out, but we don't know how to retain? Like retain whatever resources. Retain,
but how many men you know are accept gifts? Don't give me nothing. Don't give me nothing. I don't want nothing. Don't give me nothing. I got everything. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And we can't take a gift. You know what I'm saying? We're like, I got it. But we give our lady gifts all the time.
Yeah.
You know, people around you give gifts and be like, I don't want that. And then when it comes to, you know, your higher purpose or you trying to do something, we are quick to want to help somebody instead of going, no, I can't help you because I'm doing this for myself. right? Like if you
Yeah.
want to kick
Yeah.
it, and I need a mental day, I'm like, fuck it, I will bypass my mental day to help somebody. No, sometimes no, leave me fuck alone. I'm taking a day to myself. We need to learn to be just a little bit more selfish.
Yeah, I can agree with that. It sounds like you're talking about discernment.
Man, that's a big word. I don't know the full definition. I don't know the full definition. I can't agree.
I'll get the dictionary definition, but it's basically like being able to make logic-based decisions.
Okay.
I mean, based off what he was saying, he is serving to his purpose, and those reside there.
But
I think that's a good.
Yeah,
It's not necessarily because what I think the way you, I think is a little different from what he's saying. What you thought it was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So are you still in control?
He's still
If you've been
because
a
he's still
servant to your.
he's still
higher
serving
purpose?
his purpose and those around. So your purpose would be whatever it is.
I'm trying to accomplish.
But then, let's say if you did have a kid, you got a girl, and those that reside around you.
Right.
So I feel like that it would all.
See, I don't know. I guess the servant thing. To me, when you're a servant, you're not in control.
So
Don't get too caught up on the word.
yeah.
What you
So
mean? It's there.
So this is the dictionary definition. I just typed in discernment in Google. It said the ability to judge well.
Okay. Yeah.
So having discernment is having the ability to judge well.
Okay.
But see, when I go to work, right? So we just got a new manager, right? So, she's a manager. She oversees stuff, right? Typically, that's what managers do. They oversee other people, right? Where I have a little bit of an issue with her, or with anybody in a position of leadership, is what she does when she sees everybody working. She just stands still and literally folds her arms and watches everybody work, right? And that bothers me because that, like, I don't know if you've seen.
All she needs is a whip.
You know what's crazy? Most of like my coworkers are black, so that's funny. It's funny that you say that.
The way it should be.
But no, but my issue with that mindset is you're a leader, like you're in a position of leadership, so you don't necessarily have to do this work,
Right.
but
Lead by
I
example.
respect you more. That's what that's saying.
Yeah.
Lead by example. Show me that you're not above getting your hands dirty.
Yeah. Show me you're not above telling me what you want me to do.
Show me that you're not above doing what you're telling me to do.
Right.
So
That's what I see when I see
So
that.
y'all tell me not to get caught up on the word. Why not? Why I can't get caught up on the word being the servant?
I feel like he expanded to tell you why he would choose the word servant.
Okay.
Because I think a leader must also be a servant.
I guess.
Yeah, most definitely. I agree with that.
Yeah, and that, I'm thinking
Because he got 4 more points to
To that one.
to
Okay, yeah.
What makes a man a man? I guess his second one is he is a protector.
1,000% natural. Yeah.
He knows that because he is alive, he is designed to suffer, and that's okay.
See, he's a servant.
Meaning to understand that suffering is a part of life, not something to run from, and a responsibility to keep it away from others.
You know what? I actually agree. Keep it a buck.
I'm gonna say, like, because I think about it. Like, for instance, if you and your lady sleep at night and you hear a bump in a
Yeah.
who's gonna go out and get it?
Person close to the door.
I can see you rolling over. Like,
This is your turn.
Be like, go
go
see.
check on that. I got 911. Just scream. Just scream.
So third, he is a warrior. That was his third.
That should go hand in hand.
I think so.
So he
yeah.
said protector, warrior. Well, warrior, he explains, I guess, he understands and controls his violence and power. Is neither mastered by it or worships it.
Okay.
I still think that's
Okay, saying that takes me out of that servant word, though. You know what I'm saying? Being in control. 'Cause I as servant, someone's telling you what to do.
I mean, if you think, I guess if you think of it like what the ideal president would be is they would serve. They serve in the country. They not serving. They not supposed to be serving their personal needs.
Right.
So
right,
they still
right.
would be. The president is a servant to the people.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
So-
Yeah. The leader is a servant to the people that they lead.
Right.
Right. Like, you can be in a position of leadership, but you serve your people.
Right.
1000%. Yeah. I do think protect and warrior go hand in hand, but I think I can accept that, I guess.
And then the fourth is he is romantic.
That's a tough one. I don't disagree, but when I say that's a tough one, I think that's a tough thing to practice.
Yeah. So
romantic.
The fourth one is romantic. So he says, you gonna put that on your nose?
Huh? No.
So he understands that the purpose of existence is love. That is purpose is to. That's weird. That his purpose is to do what he must be done. Yeah, that's weird.
Do what must be done for what?
He romanticism? Yeah, he must do what must be done to preserve and protect it. That means nurturing its presence, sheltering it from tragedy.
What does he being a protector?
I guess
when I hear romanticism, I just immediately think tending to your woman's emotional needs.
Yeah, this is probably what it was about.
That's
it
what I
sounds
hear.
like. I mean, nurturing its presence, sheltering it from tragedy. Sound like
Taking care of his
basically,
woman.
he could have said fourth is take care of your goddamn woman.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean,
then,
a lot of men aren't nurturing. Women are natural nurturers.
Exactly.
I'm not as nurturing as other people.
Most people.
Listen, I'm not gonna disagree with you. It's just not me. I'm not a hugger. I'm not a hugger neither.
Yeah.
Like the way I show nurturing is
Fucking with you.
I know. I'm just saying. You dripping, nigga.
Am I? My beard?
It dropped somewhere. Oh, but I show that I care in different ways. Like if I'm at a comedy show and Will Eyes is being heckled, Buddy might get poked. Shut up, nigga. But
laugh.
but yeah, I mean, and then a lot of this stuff is people show it in different ways too. But let's just jump to the fifth one real quick. Fifth is he is a wise man, meaning he is aware that all men are fools, even himself, and should never fully trust even his own thoughts.
Situational.
I think I have to give a little pushback on that one.
How so?
Because yes, it's true that you should question what it is that you're being told. At the very least, you should say, when I hear anybody say anything to me, like when I go to church, when I listen to sermons, when I listen to music, when I listen to other people trying to give me game or whatever it is that they may know about, I ask myself, how does this sound to me? Right. And if it did not sound good to me, then I don't adhere to whatever it is that they were saying.
100%.
Vice versa. Well, as it relates to what he said, I think that's what he's saying when it comes to like all men are fools.
Yeah, knowing you got room for growth always, right?
I can accept that verbiage. Yeah.
That sounds like what he
you
was.
can always learn.
Yeah, but
you shouldn't question yourself always.
That's what I was gonna say.
Yeah, because sometimes you got to stand on your decision.
Yeah, sometimes you got to step forward. You got to step with goddamn force.
I just had
a trap. Follow the motherfucking trap.
Yeah,
sorry, go ahead.
No, it's cool. But I was saying I just had a situation in my personal life where I had to make a decision, and guess what? I had to stand on that position,
right?
Because if you show that you're shaking your decision-making process, then you will always be questioned.
I'll tell you, how can somebody trust you if you ain't showing that you trust your own self?
And that's what with you saying that's what I heard when he originally stated what the guy said. I'm like,
Was that all 5?
Yeah, that was all 5.
That ain't bad.
Not a bad list.
All right, you want to move on? We done with this?
I figured.
You know,
because I guess... What does
I think the question has been posed. Now we come back and revisit.
I mean, so the exact question was what again?
What are the qualities of being a man? What do you think being a man entails?
And like that's question 1A. What is a decent age range as to when we can start instilling those values in our children?
I don't even think that's a question. I think we got the answer to that. That's immediately.
Oh, okay.
You start those building blocks immediately.
Yeah, I don't disagree. Because generally, just basically, the sooner the better.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, this gonna end up on YouTube fully. Hey, I mean, I kind of like that though. Like, one question.
Yeah.
Talk about
Divulge into a whole conversation. Yeah.
You want to stop and start another one? Because I got another question.
I got no problem. I'm on vacation, so I don't gotta,
Oh, shit.
I don't gotta go nowhere.